What's up, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're talking... This topic will address one of the most common questions I get from women. And that is, can I grow my boobs through exercise? Believe it or not, your girl does not have a lot of boob going on, okay? I have push-up bras, I have occasional inserts, I have flattering cut shirts, okay? But ever since puberty let me down, I've been looking for ways to help the girls out. There are a lot of misconceptions and snake oil supplements around this topic that I'm going to explain today. So if you've ever wondered or felt afraid to ask this question, go ahead, give this video a thumbs up, and leave me a comment in the comment section below. I'm going to break our lesson down into 3 parts, starting with what you're doing or thinking wrong right now, the strategy I would use to fix it, and then my specific favorite exercises to use as part of this strategy. Starting with the biggest misconception about weight training and boobs. Lifting weights will make you lose your boobs. Wrong. Working out can make you lose body fat. By losing body fat, you don't just lose it in one area, you lose it all over, okay? So you're inherently gonna lose some fat from your boobs. Less fat in your boobs, less boob to go around. What you need to understand is that working out does not directly decrease boob size. It's only if you lose body fat. Matter of fact, by working the muscles in and around your boob area, you can actually improve the overall appearance of your chest. Okay. So how does this work? Your boobs, or at least the outward appearance of them, depends mostly on what's going on below the surface. The key areas you need to pay attention to are the epidermis, fat, Cooper's ligaments, and muscle. Whoa, hold up.
What are this?
Cooper's ligaments provide structural support to your boobs. Think of them like the big cables on suspension bridges, okay? Pretty important. Now that we've got that out of the way, what actually affects the shape and size of your boobs? Size is determined by mostly fat, but can be slightly altered by building muscle, whereas shape and sag are a bit more complex. Your boobs are naturally teardrop-like in shape. The weight of your breast pulls down, whereas the Cooper's ligaments or support structures pull back upwards towards the chest. Problem is, these Cooper's ligaments or support structures, they loosen over time. And when these support structures loosen, this leads to breast sag and changes in overall shape. Here's where our strategy comes in. We're gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We're gonna work on adding boob size, but also maintaining shape by reducing stretch and the effective load on the connective tissue. This is a simplified side profile of your boob. The skin is along the outer edge, the muscle is along the backside, and most of what's in between is made up of fat. We also have this kind of funky connective tissue called Cooper's ligaments. Now, in order for you to fully understand how all these forces work out, I need you to visualize a water wheel. If we take the center to be along the nipple line, we've got the connective tissue pulling towards the body, and for the most part, creating a clockwise rotation. Whereas, we've got the weight of the breast pulling down and creating a counterclockwise rotation. When these forces are perfectly balanced, we've got perky, lifted, youthful-looking boobs. However, when one of these becomes out of balance, say the force of the boobs pulling down becomes stronger, then the shape of your breast changes and your boobs become saggy. So what can we do to correct this balance? What can we do to get our connective tissue to pull a little harder and higher? Build muscle. By building muscle, we reduce the distance the connective tissue has to stretch, and we reduce the effective force of gravity pulling down. Not to mention, by building muscle, we are adding a little bit of size to your boobs. The key areas we want to add muscle to are the mid and lower chest, since these are closest to nipple line. Starting with the dumbbell floor press. This is going to hit your mid-pec. I haven't done this exercise in a long time, and when you're used to bench pressing from, well, a bench, this can feel super weird. For me, I kept feeling like I was stopping short. What's good about this movement though is that because of the shorter range of motion, you've got more shoulder stability and should be able to push heavier weights. Also, since you're already on the ground, there's not really any fear of dropping the dumbbells from up high, unless you drop them on your face, which don't do that. Next up, we're gonna superset this with a dumbbell fly. Again, this is gonna be hitting the mid-pec. This might feel a little bit weird from the ground, but what helped me was to retract my shoulders back before starting the movement. This allowed me to get a greater range of motion and feel this in my chest rather than worrying about what my shoulders were doing. Next up, we have the incline push-up. So this is going to be hitting the lower pec, and you may even feel it a little bit in your back muscles. Any height box bench platform will work for this. Just bear in mind that the higher you go, the easier it becomes. I chose a box around knee height. If this exercise is too easy for you, feel free to ball out by adding in a hop or a clap or some fancy stuff like that. What helps me is to visualize squeezing the backs of my arms down and together as I push up. You may even feel some lat engagement on this exercise. Next up, we have the tricep floor press. Okay, so this is going to be hitting the lower pec and the tricep, or the muscles on the backs of your arms. It's important to sculpt shapely arms as well as pecs in order to develop a balanced physique. The key difference between this press and the floor press we did before is elbow positioning. Here I'm keeping my wrists strong, but tucking my elbows down to be in line with my torso, rather than extending out to the sides. And in all honesty, I prefer this exercise on a bench, but I was apparently about that turf life when I was filming this. So next up, we're going to superset this with a tricep skull crusher. So again, we're going to be targeting the lower pec and triceps. The key with this exercise is to lock your elbows in place and then just pivot up and down from there. If you're having trouble locking your elbows in place or keeping your arms steady during this, visualize pulling your shoulders and upper arms down. In order to do this, you have to engage your lower chest muscles, which is exactly what we want in this case. Next up, we have the cable single arm kickback. Okay, so again, we're going to be hitting the lower pec and tricep. That seems to be the theme of this workout. I like this single arm variation because I find I can more evenly engage each side this way. Keeping the elbow pinned to your side, focus on squeezing down and back in one smooth arc. And then if you want a little bit of extra range of motion, squeeze at the end. And lastly, we have the cable kickback, 3-position finisher. So this is a finisher exercise, okay? And while it may look easy now, no, it is death, I promise you. Basically, you start by taking 3 to 4 big steps back from the cable tower, do 5 reps there. Take 1 step in, do 5 reps there. Then take 1 more step in. At this point, you should be like right in front of the tower and finish your final 5 reps there. This will be death, like I promise. That's all for today. I hope you found this video eye-opening, and I hope that you liked our mini anatomy engineering lesson. Like I said, I'm not one of those genetically blessed little girls with big boobs. No, that puberty ship has sailed, and so this is just one of the ways that I help the girls out. As always, I have a sick freebie for you at the top of the description box below. I will be updating this week, so snag it now before it disappears. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.